Hello, my name is Matt, and I'm the product lead for Hangouts Chat. I'm going to talk to you today about teams, because I believe that Hangouts Chat is the single most important thing you can bring to your organizations to improve team efficiency and effectiveness. And I know that's a pretty bold statement, but I'm going to try and convince you now about why that's the case. First of all, when we think about teams, there's a couple of things which I tend to think about. The first one is people. People is just it's a hiring problem. It's all pretty straightforward, right? I can't solve that with chat, by the way. The other thing that I think a lot about is culture. And as we break apart culture, we think about a couple of things. The first one is values that come down from our leadership. And the second one is how we work together and how we bring culture into our organization. And there are three key things around culture and around how we communicate that are important. So I think about frequency, I think about formality, and I think about transparency. To take one of those, think about Google and Apple, two widely successful companies. The transparency within those organizations and how they share information is vastly different. At the same time, this helps define the culture of the organization. And as we think through this, there's two key problems that we are currently facing frequently. The first one is communication barriers within the organization. They can be across functional barriers, they can be across location, and of course they can be, as we grow, we develop teams and we can develop divisions in the organization. The second big barrier that we face is around this increasing trend towards diversification and distribution of our workforce. By 2020, a full 50% of our organizations is expected to be working remotely. And we hear that as we hire people. Everyone wants to work from home, right? First thing. Second thing is we want work-life balance, so we want to be able to encourage family time and that kind of thing. And thirdly, as we grow our organizations, we have this need to expand to other offices and things. So the ability to communicate across distances effectively as teams fundamentally defines our success and our competitiveness in a global space. And so we looked at all of this and we really pulled out two key principles here, or two key ideas that chat solves for. First of all, bringing teams together to be cohesive despite the barriers, despite the locations. The second thing here is around fluid communication. So where we think about this is like fast, less formal, but without compromising on the security you expect from an enterprise product. And that's where Hangouts Chat really comes into it. I'm going to walk through the product itself so you can understand how we're solving for this. And there's three key things that I want to outline here, the construct of the product itself. The first one is direct messaging. You're all super familiar with this. Billions of direct messages are sent every day. We use it for family and friends. We use it for business. This is a common thing. This is not a new problem. And it's not a new solution here since ICQ and AOL Messenger and like way back when. Solutions here have been here for a long time. Wenja, one of the product managers on my team, is going to talk to you about some of the extra features we're adding to chat to make direct messaging better. But for now, I want to dive deeply into Rooms and our bot platform. And to talk through this, I want to just kind of walk through the UX here and kind of walk you through what's happening. So as you look down the left-hand side, you see Rooms defined here, and these are persistent, topic-based communication forums where people come together in teams and they work together. And regardless if the team is sitting next to each other in an office or on the other side of the world, this is a common leveling platform for teams to work together and communicate. On the right-hand side, what you see is, obviously, people can chat, as you would expect from a product called chat, but also you can share documents and files, there are emoji, you can react to what's going on there. And the third thing I'll mention here is the fact that all of these conversations are threaded. They're clustered into topics. And the threading here is quite pivotal in that it solves two key problems. The first one is how do we scale Rooms? It's fine if you have like a 5-person discussion, but anything beyond sort of 15 people, and this scales well up to 8,000 people, a large company-wide discussion. You will always have parallel discussions ongoing. So the ability to have those parallel discussions and to scale this solution is really important. The second thing that's really important here that threads solve for is what we call the catch-up problem. So not having to be there always, keeping in contact, complete FOMO like we normally get from these team messaging products. Being able to be away from your desk, being out of the office for a day or a week, coming back and not having to read this constant stream of consciousness from the team, but look at, of this particular topic, what am I interested in? What is the update in this topic? I mentioned bot platforms, the third construct in the product itself. The value of bot platform is bringing in functionality from outside of chat into this team collaboration space. Pull out a few quick examples here. It could be functionality inside G Suite, so somebody comments on a document, having those comments instantly appear within chat rather than getting delivered through email and having to go in and kind of through that workflow. A similar thing is Salesforce integration, so getting updates when you need to contact a customer, looking up customer details and logging that information back into your CRM system. So pulling that all together. And the commonality here is that there are workflows that the team does today, but if you can bring that together into one place, have people work on that together in the same place, the cohesiveness of the team comes together because you've got that transparency of the work going on. You'll also hear in a moment from one of our customers who's going to talk about a bot that they created themselves to help with their internal workflows. With the power of Google Cloud Platform, we make it really, really ridiculously easy just to go and create a bot, bring that together and make it live within a matter of minutes, create things quickly. So it's a really powerful connection here between chat and the cloud platform. As you would expect, being a core service for G Suite, chat integrates with other parts of G Suite as well. So some simple examples here. When you share a document with the room, we look at the permissions on the document, we look at who you're trying to share it with. If there's a mismatch, we prompt you to give permissions at that point. That's the kind of thing that's only possible when you're part of the suite itself. Another simple example, you're often in a discussion where you're talking to people, and you really need to have a face-to-face discussion. Really simple, lightweight, one-click, jump into a presentation, jump into a video chat, have a quick video chat with those people. No need to go to a separate location or log in or any of that. Very natural integration here. And the third piece, which I'll highlight around the integration, is around the integration and the backwards compatibility with the previous version of Hangouts. So you could take a team today within your organization, move it across to the new product, and then all the existing chats, so the group chats will come through, the direct messages will come through. You're not on an island of this new product, this new functionality that the team needs to learn. All the existing communications still flow into the product. Few final points here. Google Chat, Hangouts Chat, let's go with that one, is 100% built for enterprise. It's an enterprise-first product. So it was built with the ability to set your own policies around how long do you want to retain the information in chat rooms, how long do you want to retain the information in direct messages, vote support, of course, so all of your e-discovery needs for legal holds, for long-term archiving. As you'd expect, strong security and HIPAA and GDPR compliance, the things you can expect from every single G Suite core service. And the final point here, which is pretty powerful, it's available to all of you now on basic, business, enterprise, and EDU versions, completely free of charge globally. So it supports 28 languages. There's no limits, no tiers of the product, 8,000 people today in a room. Support for different clients, including desktop clients, Mac and Windows. And of course, we've thought a lot about all the users in your organization. So screen reader support, having all your users in your organization, being able to join conversations and participate in those conversations is important. So across these platforms, but also the mobile platforms as well. So in summary, 4 points here. Hangouts Chat can definitely transform the way your teams work. Deeply integrated with G Suite. It's an enterprise-first product, and it's available globally at no additional cost. And with that, I'm actually going to introduce one of our customers. So Jordi Ademe is the Chief Technology Officer of Resolve. They've implemented Hangouts Chat, and it's fundamentally changed the way their business works and their ability to scale. To introduce Resolve, I'm going to play a quick video.
Resuelve es una reparadora de crédito que lo que busca es ayudar a las personas que cayeron en una situación de sobreendeudamiento.
Empezamos 3, hoy somos 1,200, tenemos 25 oficinas en 4 países del mundo.
Noté que había un problema en la comunicación y colaboración entre los equipos. Y luego, bueno, teníamos ya gente en Colombia. Entonces, ¿cómo hablábamos con ellos?
Una de las primeras cosas que hizo Jordi cuando llegó fue decirnos, no, es que nos tenemos que cambiar a G Suite. O sea, la forma en que todo está integrado te ayuda a colaborar de una forma mucho más rápido
Lo más valioso para mí es que sea transparente. O sea, no tienes que pensar si voy a usar Google Docs o si voy a usar Sheet o si voy a usar Chat.
En comparación al correo y las cadenas gigantescas que se hacían, el chat por su formato te obliga a ser mucho más concreto, más rápido, ir al punto y a tener una velocidad de respuesta mucho mayor también, ¿no?
O sea, estás hablando en el chat y le dices, oye, necesito verte a la cara para explicarte esto, para que me lo expliques bien porque no estoy entendiendo nada. Pues, oye, métete, ahí está, rápido. Y se meten las 2, 3, 4 personas, es increíble.
La gente nueva de nuevo ingreso adopta estas herramientas de manera natural y se vuelve gente resuelve desde el día 1.
Yo le recomendaría a otras empresas como Resuelve que definitivamente hicieran la inversión y se mudaran a Google Cloud. No solamente yo, también tenemos toda la infraestructura de Google Cloud y les va a ayudar a crecer sin dolor. Hi everybody, I'm Jordi. I'm the IT guy at Resuelve, and I will fix your computer. So what's Resuelve? It roughly translates to resolve your debt. What we do is we help people who cannot pay their debts anymore, people who cannot pay even the minimum monthly credit card payment. How do we do this? First, we will get you a discount from your creditors. In Mexico, we are able to get discounts up to 78%. That's amazing. But we know you've been struggling with this debt for a long time. So the second thing we will do is we will create a savings program together. Together, you and us we'll analyze your financial situation as today and determine how much money you can really save on a monthly basis. It won't be easy. The average program lasts 18 months, but together we'll make this journey together, debt by debt, month by month, until you are debt-free. The funny thing is, this thing started with a crisis back in 2009, where there was a global crisis, and people were having trouble paying their debts and loans all over the world, and Mexico was not the exception. So our two founders came up with the idea of bringing this model to Mexico, with a clear mission of helping Mexicans pay their debts. But during the last years, we've been working really, really hard on our global expansion, starting 4 years ago with Colombia. Last year, we opened Argentina. And this same month, we just opened Spain. Over these years, our mission has changed. We no longer want to help only Mexicans, but anyone who is unable to pay their debts, it doesn't matter where they live. So it's going to be a big challenge, scaling a business and maintain its culture, vision, core values, and customer experience quality. I joined Resuelve about 2 years ago, and things were not easy back then. We didn't have G Suite. We had infinite email threads or chains. Suddenly, you received an email, and the whole body was plus your name, plus Jordi in your case. And that's it, no context. So you had to open the email, you see the scroll bar getting low, smaller and smaller and smaller, and you had to try to read from bottom to top and right to left. That's kind of difficult. That's not a great UX. That will not scale. Then if you wanted to contact somebody at the office, first you had to know their name, then you had to try to find their email and then or phone extension. The usual way to accomplish this was actually asking some other employee. Once you finally contacted this person that you wanted to talk to, there was an infinite email thread agreeing on rooms, times, platforms, and usernames. That was really hard. So once you finally get into a Skype call with somebody, it usually ended up with, hey, let's do this by phone. This is not working, right? That will not scale ever, ever. It's no surprise that 1 week after I joined Resuelve, we were already switching to G Suite. So these two guys at the back, they are our current CEOs in Spain and Argentina. They still have to meet and work together, but it will be so inefficient, so polluting and expensive to fly them over the world just so they can work together. So that's why we love Hangouts Meet so much. This was a common scene at the office this summer. People from 3 countries working on a shared project about, I don't know, the end year's party of Resuelve. But actually, they were fighting over who will win the World Cup. Unfortunately, none of us did. And 2 things you already know about Latinos. We love football, obviously, football, not soccer. We call it football. And we even name our meeting rooms after football stadiums. And we are extremely formal. Every email we send has to have a salutation, introduction, 3-paragraph body, conclusion, and a and a farewell. It's like an email. It has to be like a letter addressed to the king. It will not scale. But even though Meet brought us together, and it's perfect for long-distance calls or complex talks, we still had an instant communication problem until we found Hangouts Chat. There's an old Mexican saying that says, everything you buy has to be bueno, bonito, and barato. That's a rough translation over there, right? So before there was Hangouts Chat, we tried every chat solution available. We tried Slack, we tried River, WhatsApp group, Telegram, Jabber, IRC. We even tried a chat blockchain solution. But transaction fees were going to, no, that's not true. We didn't try that. But some of these solutions were good and nice, but they were expensive, or some of them were cheap, and the quality it was not so good, until we found Hangout Chat. But how hard could it be to introduce this new tool to 1,200 employees in many countries? It was so easy, actually. This is what we did, that's true. The engineering team, we tried it for a couple of weeks. It was so obvious that this was the solution we were looking for. So after that, we just created a global group, invited the whole company, and that's it. That's all we did. Everybody was in chat. We didn't have to create any accounts. Everybody was already there. That's pretty nice. We didn't have to install any software on any computer. That's interesting. We didn't have to train anybody. It felt like everybody just knew how to use it. That's quality software to me. And the best of all, we didn't have to pay any extra for this. That scales. As today, I spend most of my life, most of my my day life on chat. I rarely send an email to a Resuelve employee anymore. And I don't seem to be alone. Last month, we sent 80% of our internal communication was done via chat. And that number, and we still send tons of emails. But that number seems to be going down and down every month. And now that the chat is widely adopted throughout the company, some groups started to appear. We use chat not only for business or work-related stuff, but we also use it for fun, or like sports bracket betting, or I don't know, local sport teams organization, or even to find out what's for lunch today at the dining room. And organically, some support groups appeared. For example, tech support groups, HR support groups, or specific groups for support about our savings program, which is not really easy to understand sometimes. And we noticed that there were a lot of questions that were being asked a lot, repeatedly. It's okay to answer a question once, or even twice, but having the same question answered once and again and again and again, that won't scale. So we trying to solve this, we tried the knowledge-based approach. We created documents and we sent them to the company, but it didn't work that well because people have specific questions. They want to know if we can negotiate with American Express. They do not want to read a whole document to find out this. They want a simple yes or no question. So in one of our monthly hackathons, a huge team of developers of one was working on a personal assistant bot, and so Coyote was born. What is Coyote? Coyote is a bot, obviously, in Hangout Chat. It's your personal assistant, your personal coach, your personal bookie, chef. It's whatever you want it to be. It can answer really simple questions like, how many vacations days do I have left? I only have 5 days left. That's not a lot. Or it can answer more complex questions like, do we negotiate with American Express? This seems to be a really straightforward yes or no question, but there's more to it. Coyote knows you live in Spain, so Coyote will tell you about American Express Spain, not about American Express in Colombia or Mexico. Coyote is smart. But sometimes questions can get really tricky, so tricky that not even Coyote knows how to answer this. So this is a real situation we had a couple of months ago. There's this Mexican guy that used to live in Mexico. He moved to Argentina. He has debts with banks in Mexico. Let me remember. It's really complicated. And he was now back in Argentina, and he wanted to join the program. So somebody asked this Coyote. Nobody knew, not even Coyote, what to do. So Coyote needs some human help. And even if I don't like it, humans can come in handy from time to time. So we have a Hangouts group called Coyote Answers, where a bunch of highly trained humans take care of these matters. So the thing is, Coyote gets the question, it will send it back to this group. People in this group will discuss and answer. once they have consensus on an answer, they send it back to Coyote. Coyote will learn the answer and send it back to the user. But it will not learn just the question. It will learn the situation. We're using Dialogflow for this. So the next time anybody asks the same question, even if it's a different phrasing, Coyote will know how to answer. Coyote scales. It's really smart. So how we built it? It was really, really simple. So we use Hangouts Chat as a front end, even for the user or for the group of people where they are answering questions. We use Dialogflow for the natural language processing backend, and we built everything in an Elixir app. It's deployed using Docker and Kubernetes. The only thing the Elixir app does is connecting these two APIs. You can easily have this bot, not this bot, but any bot running in 15 minutes. It's really, really easy to do it. This is the Coyote trainers, or tamers, as they like to be called. There are around 40 people of all the areas in Resuelve, from IT, contracts, maintenance, sales, everybody just working on training Coyote. Nobody asked them to do it. They just want to help. And it's really amazing what people can do if they have a clear mission. In this case, they just want to help. They just want to train Coyote. And just like that, we have a mission. We want to help the world pay their debts. And with really hard work and partners like Google and tools like Google Chat, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to accomplish it. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Wenja. I'm a product manager on Hangouts Chat. Today, I'm excited to showcase features about our upcoming innovations that empower our mission of building happy and productive teams. We want to help you have fun, we want to help you focus, and we want to help you be more productive. So let's start with fun first. Raise your hand if you use emojis at least once in the last week. Wow, that's a lot of you. Cool. Well, almost everyone online today uses emoji or some sort of visual expression. Fun fact, last week was National Emoji Day. But emojis and visual expression are not just about fun. They're also good for engagement. For example, studies have shown that using emojis in Gmail subject lines can drive a 20% increase in open rate. Expressive features are also not just important in the social and consumer world. They've also proven to be important in the workplace. Communication styles have evolved, and oftentimes, expressive styles are even preferred over simple text. Emojis, in particular, are a fun and effective way of accurately representing your thoughts and feelings to help you build stronger personal connections with your team. At Hangouts Chat, we offer efficient emoji search at your fingertips, so you can find the perfect one that expresses how you feel in the moment. To take it a little bit further, today I'm excited to introduce a new feature called emoji reactions. With this feature, you can quickly or creatively react to any message to express support, humor, or empathy. What that means is you can celebrate good news, you can acknowledge a request, or you can take a quick poll, amongst many other things. We believe this feature will go a long way in helping you build team culture and help everyone feel included. So let's look at some examples for how reactions can be used. I'm going to show you 2 examples from my personal experience using this feature on our team. For this first example, I want you all to imagine a common scenario. You're a newbie, and you're joining a team for the first time. How would you like to be introduced or welcome? We could do this over email. We could even do this over chat. But let's look at an example of using reactions. So Cheryl here is welcoming Max to the team. And in case you're wondering, does anyone really use that many emojis? The answer is yes. or at least we do on my team. Okay, let's look at a more serious example. So now imagine that you're working on an important document, and you just want to get a quick sense for how everyone feels before you share it. Again, you can have these long back and forths on email or chat or another forum, or you could take a quick, clean poll using emoji reactions. So Stanley, in this case, wants a thumbs up if people think the document is good to share, or a stop sign if they think there's still things to work on. I just showed you 2 examples for how reactions can be used, but I look forward to seeing what you all do. Let's switch gears a bit and talk about focus and productivity. Our CEO, Sundar, is a great advocate of digital wellness, saying that great technology should improve life and not distract from it. So how do we build technology that is both responsible and effective? At Hangouts Chat, we want to build tools that help you focus and also enable you to scale and do more. Today's landscape can be challenging for those seeking to be productive in the workplace. Context switching, multitasking are daily challenges to productivity. Did you know, for example, that hearing a mobile notification makes you 3 times more likely to make a mistake? And once you're interrupted, it can take you up to 23 minutes to get back on track. That is a lot of time. So we want to help you manage your attention. With Do Not Disturb, you can turn off notifications for any period of time. So you can just focus on getting stuff done. Choose anywhere from 30 minutes to up to 8 hours. For all other times, working hours allows you to set your own schedule. So you can decide for yourself what the right balance is between work and home. You can take control of your own schedule and decide when you want or don't want to be engaged and notified. Because we believe that disconnecting at home is just as important as getting stuff done at work. So to recap, Do Not Disturb and working hours help you focus and disconnect. But we want to help you do even more. Everybody juggles multiple tasks on a daily basis. And it can be hard to always be productive and responsive. So what if we could reduce your effort on these tasks and help you be faster, so that as a result, you have more time to do things like solve complex problems, think of new ideas, or execute on strategy? What if Hangouts Chat could genuinely and intelligently anticipate your needs in the moment? Luckily, Hangouts Chat weaves together products across G Suite so that we can expand your capabilities beyond just messaging. We provide you the right tools at the right time. And I'm going to walk you through 3 highlights today for how we do this. 1 around how we can help you manage your documents more effectively, 2 around scheduling meetings easier, and 3 around just being faster. So starting with documents. As Matt mentioned earlier, we have a bot platform that brings together capabilities across G Suite and other applications. The Drive bot is one good example of how we do this. Now, most of you have probably collaborated on a document at some point in time. The challenge is you don't always know exactly who you want to share your document with and what kind of permission you want them to have. Do you want them to be only viewing your document, or do you want them to be a fully active collaborator? The good news is you don't have to worry about any of that, because the Drive bot will send you a direct message anytime someone wants to access your document. and it'll also notify you of any comments. This way, you can stay on top of all of your documents without getting distracted and without changing your workflow. And by the way, all of this is happening in real time. And if you don't think this is a big deal, our studies have shown that granting permission is 8 times faster using the Drive pod in Hangouts Chat. Everyone's favorite topic, meetings. So personally, I find it very challenging to schedule meetings in general, and even more difficult when it involves multiple people across multiple time zones. That's where the Meetbot is really helpful. It uses natural language processing and machine learning intelligence to automatically schedule meetings for everyone in the chat room. And it works with your Google Calendar and the Google Meet tool. Again, you don't have to change what you're doing so it doesn't disrupt your workflow, you don't get distracted, and you don't lose any time. I have one more feature to introduce around helping you be more productive. I think we all wish that we could just do things faster. And responding to chat messages faster is definitely one area of improvement. If there's an answer you can give quickly to unblock your team, I don't think anyone loves to keep people waiting. That's why I'm excited to announce Smart Reply in Hangouts Chat to help increase your speed and efficiency. This feature will be coming out in the next few weeks. Smart Reply in Hangouts Chat uses the same machine learning intelligence as Smart Reply in Gmail. So for those of you who've already used Smart Reply in Gmail, you'll find this feature very familiar. Our technology understands the context of your messages and automatically suggests 3 possible responses. You can select any of them to respond right away, or you can customize it further. So we'll just look at one more quick example of how to use Smart Reply. This one hopefully should be relatable to a lot of you. I hate running behind to a meeting. It creates a lot of stress for me, and it creates stress for my team. So what if when my team is asking me, hey, are you gonna make it? Where are you? And I'm still waiting for the elevator. It would be great if I could just use Smart Reply to let them know that I am on my way. So let's just take a quick look at that. I just introduced 5 different features today around fun, focus, and productivity. And we're going to continue to build and innovate more. What I want you to remember today is this. Hangouts Chat can transform your workplace and team through its deep integrations with G Suite. We are built for the enterprise, and we're free. So at the end of the day, we want to be your single workstation within G Suite, connecting all of your productivity tools in one place, so we can help you be your best self and do more along the way. Thank you, and I'm going to move to questions.